Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. I have a confession to make. So my editor monkey was telling me how some of my other videos were sounding kind of like shit. The audio was kind of messed up and weird, and we were blaming my microphone and being like, "Oh, it's your fault that the sound is not coming out right." Maybe we even thought that maybe it was a cable or something. And then right now that I was preparing to record this pick a card reading, we realized, I was checking the sound. I was very sad that it wasn't working right. We connected it and everything. We checked it, and I was like, it still sounds kind of shitty. And then I noticed that the microphone that was picking up the sound was not actually my mic. The one right here. It was actually the one in the camera, and that one sounds like crap. So I had to apologize personally to my microphone, and I got laughed at by my editor monkey over here. It was not fun. And then she was like, confess! So I have confessed. Anyway, putting all that mess up aside, hopefully the audio is nicely sound and clear on this one. But in this pick a card reading, we're going to check out how the new year is going to be for you guys. Well, not necessarily the new year, only that day is going to be all of next year, so all of 2022. I don't know, I'm pretty sure this will apply to anyone who encounters this whenever that is. I'm just saying, because that's when I'm making this video. So anyway, you heard that? Anyway, so in front of me there's 3 piles. We have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. For pile 1 we have this black obsidian. For pile 2 we have this Angelite, and for pile 3 we have this amethyst sphere. So pause the video and pick your pile intuitively, and when you have picked your pile, go down to the description below to find a timestamp for the pile you ended up picking. Hello pile 1, and welcome to your reading. Here is for those of you that picked the obsidian stone or just picked pile 1. Let's see how your new year is going to be like. So the first card that we're going to take out is the conclusion to 2021, which here we have epoch, pause in your journey. So it seems like with you guys, the conclusion to your year was that you just took a break. With a pause in your journey, it feels like you guys finally understood the importance of taking a break. I'll just leave it in the middle so we can see it. You were able to sit down and maybe reflect a little bit or understand the path that you've taken, or you were able to look back once again to understand that path. It seems that you guys were able to grow again from the ashes in a way, because it feels like when there's this dead tree or something, that new life grows out of it. So it definitely feels like you guys are slowly nurturing something within you, as you see this flower coming out of this guy, and here we have a little creature getting some pollen from that flower. So it feels like you've been able to purify yourself somehow by just taking a break. Seems like there's this sense of being able to look back at the path you've gone through, and also being able to look hopefully into the future. When I mean hopefully, I mean you've been more hopeful as to what the future can bring, and maybe something good, something new, something different. And with the number 7 that we have right here, it makes me think of just being in solitude and going through your journey and all of that. The next card that we have is going to tell me what is the theme of 2022 for you guys, and we have shift. So pile 1, it seems like you guys are going through a transformation and a change. Seems like you guys have been actively going through this, just that I'm recording this in still 2021, so it seems like in 2021 you guys were just taking a break from that journey that you were going through, and then things are going to start picking up again next year. Well, in 2022, things are going to start picking up again. It feels like you guys will be a lot more confident. It feels like you guys will be able to just go with the flow of the journey of your emotions. There is purples and blues and whites. So that tells me that there's a sense of being in alignment with yourself and also being pretty intuitive with the path that you're taking. And all of that blue tells me that you're speaking your truth, or you're able to understand the truth of your situation. So there's this sense of you guys being able to have a better understanding of where you're going and where you're at because of that conclusion that you guys went through. So you have been able to reflect upon your journey and in a way being a bit more hopeful of the new future that you have ahead of you. So the next cards that we have are going to tell me a little bit about your career. So let's see. We have the Two of Wands reversed for your career. So in 2022, I feel like you guys are slowly going out of your comfort zone. Usually the Two of Wands talks about staying in the in your safe space, being able to slowly think about the actions you want to take, but you're still in your comfort zone. So for some of you, I feel that in your career, you will be constantly fighting against staying stagnant in that energy of continuously thinking of taking action. I do feel that for some of you, you finally have the key or the understanding of how to go out of that comfort zone and going towards something that makes you and finally taking action towards whatever it is that your goal is within your career. However, for some others of you, I do feel that next year you will be put in a position of constantly having to break through that limitation and constantly going out of your comfort zone. So in a way, those two things are very similar, because I feel that in your career, many of you guys will be going through a period of, even if you're trying to go out of your comfort zone, it will not be easy. And for those of you that are being pushed to go out of your comfort zone, obviously it will not be easy. So I do feel that it comes from you, like for some of you, you are thinking of it one way, and for others of you, you're thinking about it another way, but the conclusion is the same. Challenge and difficulties of breaking or passing that line or going over that limitation or boundary and finally taking action. So the Two of Wands is usually talking about something like that. So in your career, many of you guys will be taking that action, either if it's because you're pushing yourself or you feel like life is pushing you. The next card that we have will talk about relationships. So with relationships, we're going to look at different areas. The first card is going to be in 2022, what relationship will you have with yourself? The card that we have is the Three of Coins. So you guys are going to be able to work with yourself better. It seems here that you guys are learning how to work with all of the different parts that make you the complex individual that you are. Usually the Three of Coins talks about working together, doing projects, people that have their specialties coming together to create something better or to just work in a project together, right? So I do feel that with you guys, the way that it manifests is that in the relationship that you have with yourself is being able to work with all of the different aspects of you, the different areas of you that you have, if that makes sense. So it seems like since you reflected a lot in 2021, this new year you will be able to use that knowledge of all of the little pieces that make you the complete individual that you are. You're going to learn how to make all of that work together. The next card that we have is about friendships. So how will your friendships be like in 2022? We have the Knight of Coins reverse. So I do feel that I get a sense of things are moving or things are picking up again. I don't really feel challenges or difficulties coming from this Knight of Coins. Usually the Knight of Coins is the slowest moving knight in all of tarot. It is a constant but slow and steady type of energy. It's earthy, it's stable, it's grounded. And with it being reversed, I just feel energy of picking up. I guess it could be because your theme is shift. So things are changing, things are transforming, and one of the things that is happening here is that things are getting moving, right? So I don't necessarily feel anything wrong with this Knight of Coins. If anything, there's this sense of just you will be able to see how your circle of friends are moving, how things are shifting, changing, and how you are able to see maybe letting go of people that don't work for you or work with you, friendships, some friends that maybe don't really vibe with you anymore because you had this period of reflection. So now you're in an area of your life where you're able to say with more certainty and being a lot more understanding and confident and knowing who is still valuable or who you want to spend your time with, and who doesn't fit that anymore. So I do feel that there's a shift. So there's like cleaning house with your friendships. I do feel a sense of you may be starting to lean more towards people that can work with you, in the sense of, you know, because this Knight of Coins is Virgo energy. So I feel that you guys maybe will slowly start staying with friends that help you stay healthy, or friends that encourage your self-improvement, trying to develop skills, trying to always make yourself a better person. I think you will stick to those people, and you will find those people this new year. The next card that we have is going to represent the relationships that you have with your family in 2022. Whatever family means to you, that's what I'm talking about here. So we have the coin. We have the Queen of Coins upright. So this tells me that you will be taking care of your family, and in return your family is going to be taking care of you. This Queen of Coins usually represents a very nurturing, very caring individual, and this Queen energy is Taurus energy. So it's, again, slow and steady, fixed, very stable, very stubborn at times. So I do feel this is a persistent energy. So constantly taking care of each other, making sure everyone's taken care of, making sure that everyone has the material needs to survive. So I do feel that in this new year, your family will be taking care of you, and you will be taking care of them. I do feel this is like a mutual equal give and take. Also with this Queen of Coins, I'm getting that maybe there's this strong feminine or very strong nurturing energy coming through. So it doesn't necessarily apply to gender. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter, none of that human vessel stuff. I'm just talking energetically. It's going to be very caring, very kind, very nurturing, in the sense that it's kind of like if Earth was embracing you, that kind of feeling. The next card that we have right here is going to represent the relationships you will have romantically for 2022, and we have the 8 of Coins. So you actually have 3 coins. So maybe you will see your relationships grow and manifest in a very healthy way for your health, for your career, and even for your finances. Like all of that will be is going to be very healthy somehow, if that makes sense. Because that's what coins represent. But anyway, with the 8 of Coins, I do feel that there's this sense of maybe feeling frustrated right here. You know, feeling like thorns. You know, that seems to be very important, because if you see right here, her hands, her feet are all wounded because of thorns. But when I originally saw this card, I was thinking of, you know, that phrase of all roses have thorns. What I mean by that is that you may see in relationships how there's a lot of beautiful people out there, but you know, they have imperfections within them. You know, even if those people are very well off and all of that, they could still hurt you unintentionally sometimes, or something along those lines. But if we talk about the 8 of Coins on its own, it feels like you will have to make an active effort to make your romantic relationships work. So I'm not necessarily saying that it's going to be bad. I'm just saying that it's going to be a rough patch, or a rough road, if that makes sense. It's going to be a bit bumpy, it's going to be challenging, it's going to be difficult, and I feel that there's this clashing of like surface level information and then going a bit deeper. This 8 of Coins usually talks about someone that is perfecting their skill and becoming better at it. So I do feel that with you guys, it will take an active effort to make your romantic relationships work in the next year. Also, we have swans right here. So swans make me think of transformation, changes, slowly becoming beautiful, or just transformations in general. So I do feel that many of you guys in your romantic relationships, you will have the difficulty of having to just continue growing. So I do feel that with yourself, you're doing well. With your friendships, you're cleaning house. With your family, you're being cared for and nurtured. But in your love life, it feels like that will be a little bit of a bump in the road, because I feel that you guys may be a little bit more focused on your career, because that seems to be the major difficulty you will encounter next year, like trying to just break free of the limitations that you may encounter in your career. So I do feel that that could be one of the reasons as to why you guys may not be too keen or that you will not be encouraged to continue with your romantic life next year. And that could be like, maybe that will not be your main focus, or you will have to put a lot of effort to make that continue working. Or if you are single looking for a partner, you will have to put it's not going to just randomly come to you. You will definitely have to put the work in it to make sure it works and that it goes and gets moving, if that makes sense. And I guess for some others of you, you will just be perfecting that craft in the sense of like, you're slowly just learning how to be a partner, and slowly learning how to embark a path of romantic relationships, if that makes sense. So just working through that, you're definitely just learning in that area of your life. The next 5 cards that we have are just advice from your higher self for the next year, just to see if there's anything else that has to be said, or maybe anything that confirms anything that we have seen in this reading. So the first card that we have is the Grasshopper. Situations in the balance that require careful handling. So I think this is pretty straightforward, simple. Stay in balance, be in harmony. Just take care of the situations you're in. May it be work, may it be with yourself, your journey, or in relationships. Just take care of yourself and try to stay balanced. The other card that we have is Ear. Good news. That's good news in itself. I do feel that with all of these coins and all this money, it seems like you may be surrounding yourself by people that are slowly becoming abundant, yourself included, your family included, like people that are encouraging you to become better and abundant yourself, and then your family will be abundant too. So I do feel that that's a sign of good news. You are surrounded by people that are succeeding as you are succeeding within yourself as well. But I feel that with yourself, it could manifest with money. But I do feel that the biggest success you will see next year, pile 1, is that you are slowly improving on yourself person. You're just yourself. The other card that we have here is Fan. Romance, celebration, party. So with this good news, I do feel that you will just encounter a lot of things to be worthy of celebration, a lot of things that I do feel are worth your time, if that makes sense, or things that you will want to be very happy about. And I think that life is just encouraging you to be happy about them, to, you took a break to reflect, and you seem to be working on your work and your career. This could even be your studies. You're slowly trying to go out of your comfort zone in that. So I do feel that life is encouraging you to also celebrate the victories you encounter next year. The other card that we have is Broom. New home, new attitude. So some of you may be moving next year. It could be like physically going from one place to another. I also feel that you may just feel more at home within your environment. I don't think, some of you could, this could definitely be talking about moving out of your house or your current home, like literally. Others of you, I do feel that it's just an energetic thing of you feel more at home and more at harmony. And the last card that you got was Broken Bridge. Unsuccessful outcome to a problem. So I do feel that this is what this warning is about. Situations in the balance that require careful handling. I do feel with this Broken Bridge that you may have to let go of some people, which is kind of what we're talking about with the friendships. I do feel also with this Broken Bridge that maybe it will be a little bit difficult in your career to go out of that comfort zone. So there might be a chance that you may have some fight with some co-workers, potentially, especially because there's a lot of coins right here. So your relationships are very tied down to your finances or somehow your career or your stability somehow. So maybe if your relationships don't do that well, it starts interrupting your career, something like that. But what I am talking about here is that with this Broken Bridge, it could be talking about the friendships that you have to let go of to be able to have the life that you want, or have the be able to be with people that surround you with being the same wavelength as you, so maybe have the same ideas, the same beliefs, or just people that encourage you to do what you feel is good for yourself. So I do feel that this broken bridge is just saying that, yeah, something may not work out as well as you want to next year, but I do feel that if you are careful and continue balancing yourself, continue working on yourself, you will be able to learn how to handle those situations, even if they're not in your favor. Or even if something doesn't work out, you will learn how to work through that situation and learn how to navigate that appropriately, because those shifts are going to happen regardless. It's just how you see them in a way. So I will leave that there for you, pile 1. I hope you found your reading entertaining, fun, or you were able to learn from it. Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you the best of luck for 2022. I do hope that all of our dreams come true, or we are able to achieve most of our goals, or whatever we can do within a year. And I do hope that a lot of good things just come through next year. So let's say bye to 2021 and say hi to 2022 and see how that works for all of us. So wish you the best of luck. Thank you so much for watching. Love and healing from my part to you, and bye. Hello, pile 2. Welcome to your reading, and let's see what the next year has in store for you. So for those of you that picked the Angelite or just picked pile 2, let's see. The first card that comes up will tell me what was the conclusion that you've reached for 2021, and the card that you have is Avenir, make peace with your past. So it seems like you guys, the conclusion to 2021 for you was just make amends with the past. Okay, let's leave it in the middle first. So all of this red tells me that you were able to break free from your fears, because all of this orange makes me think of the sacral chakra, and to me that talks about your passions, your drive, even being able to love yourself in a way. So I do feel that many of you guys started to slowly have this burning fire within yourself come back to life. It feels like to me that you're slowly repairing yourself somehow, and this make peace with your past is just telling me that in 2021 the conclusion that you've reached, or the thing that you've been working on in 2021, was just to not free yourself in the sense of like go out of your limitations, but because this definitely feels like you're just healing yourself and being able to understand yourself in a way where you can motivate yourself again and be passionate and driven and continue working towards what it is that you want. Being able to, I think many of you went down a path where you had to reevaluate your goals and have a better understanding of how to reach those goals or what those goals meant for you. And that made it easier to understand where you're at and know that the present that you're currently in is in the favor of whatever it is that you actually want in life. So you just got a clarification of what all of that is. So with make peace with your past, you've clearly just started your journey by being able to look at the past and learn from it. So you're ready to start fresh. The next card that I have right here is going to tell me what the theme of 2022 is going to be for you. We have listen. So here it feels like there's like this seashell or something that is amplifying the sound and being able to understand things better. There's a lot of like this wavy energy that makes this dynamic flow of energy going through. There seems also like this concentration and like this circular type of balance. I don't know how to explain it necessarily, but it kind of sounds like you guys are able to listen carefully to yourself, to other people. So if someone is telling you their problems, you're able to actually not necessarily hear what they're saying, but able to even listen to the depths of their heart. So you're in a way being more intuitive, I feel. But I also feel that the next year in 2022, you're going to be learning a lot of new things. So life is encouraging you to pay a closer look and listen carefully to your surroundings, to your thoughts, to what you say to others and what you say to yourself. I do feel that there's a sense of you're going to learn and unlock a lot of new things from being able to listen a lot more. And this seashell seems to be on the left ear of this individual, so that makes me think of maybe listening to how you've changed, or being able to listen to the past somehow. So maybe last year, in 2021, you were working towards healing your past and understanding it better, and coming to terms and coming to peace with what happened in the past. So I do feel with this listen and it been on the left ear, it makes me think of someone that is listening to that past. So I do feel that whatever it is that you have the conclusion that you came to in 2021 will bleed on to 2022, and it feels like now it's kind of like when you acknowledge that a problem is a problem, and after that you just go down to trying to solve it. I do feel like you're reaching that point. You realize what's not working for you and what the issue is, and because of that you're able to work through and understand how to slowly solve it. The next card that I'm going to take out is going to tell me how your career is going to be like in 2022. The card that you have is a Knight of Wands reversed. Okay, so this tells me that in your career, you may be struggling to move things forward a bit, or you may be... Okay, so this Knight of Wands is fast, is energy and action that's been taken very quickly, and it's moving forward in a very dynamic type of way. So again, that word came out for you guys again. So there's a sense, this is a mutable sign of Sagittarius, telling me that there's change, flow, taking action in a very spontaneous type of way, but it's being reversed. So I do feel that there's a sense of maybe in your career you're going to be held back somehow. Maybe you wanted to travel and your career is gonna get in the way, or there were plans for you to travel because of your work, but then something happened that you can't travel anymore. So it feels like there's an obstacle that's being put in your career. So like that, you can listen carefully. To me, Sagittarius energy talks about reaching that higher knowledge. That could be because my 9th house is in Sagittarius, or because my Pluto's in Sagittarius. I'm not too sure, but that energy to me, Sagittarius energy to me talks about someone reaching that higher knowledge, having a deeper understanding of themselves and the world and how that all connects. So I do feel that you may in a way get a timeout in your career, so you can listen to the silence or pay attention to what is not being said in your life, if that makes sense. So I'm getting a sense of like there will be obstacles, or things may not be moving as much as you will have liked in your career for that reason, so you can continue focusing on yourself. I hope we don't get a repeat of 2020 all of a sudden. That was kind of rough for some people, but I wouldn't be surprised if it happens again in 2022. The next card that we have is, the next couple of cards are going to tell me how your relationships will be in 2022, and the first card is going to tell me how the relationship with yourself will be like in the next year. The card we have right here is the Six of Swords. This tells me that you guys are slowly leaving whatever is bothering you and whatever issues and whatever wasn't working for you. The stagnant energy, you're leaving it all behind, and you're moving towards something a lot more calm, a lot relaxing, comforting, very peaceful and harmonious. You're leaving something behind for something better. There is a promise of a brighter future, comfort, home, and peace. You're going towards that. You're moving towards that. And I think that is just, as I mentioned, the conclusion that you have for 2021 is bleeding on to the new year, and because of that you're reaching this conclusion. The relationship that you have with yourself is one of reaching for peace, growing for that, working towards that. This Six Swords is supposed to represent the mind and your ideas and your thoughts and your communication. It's telling me that you are carrying the ideas and thoughts of the past and transforming them into a brighter future. So the Six of Swords is talking about working towards all of those difficulties and transforming them for something better. The next card that I have here is going to tell me how your relationships with your friends will be like for 2022. Here we have the Four of Wands. So for some of you, the first thing that I got is that for some of you, maybe you're gonna get married to one of your friends. That seems very random. So for some of you, this is a very specific message and it will apply to you. I don't think that will be the case for everyone. For others of you, maybe one of your friends will get engaged and married in 2022. I'm not too sure, because the Four of Wands talks about weddings and home and stability. But because of the depiction of the imagery on this card, it made me think of a wedding right away. I'm trying to see if I know what the story is behind this image, but I don't think I have read about it yet, so nothing's coming to my mind yet. However, I do want to mention that if it's not a wedding necessarily, you will be celebrating or will have a lot to celebrate with your friends, a lot of things to be happy with, a lot of things to feel at home and at peace with. So I do feel that many of you guys will have a very comforting time with your friends or a lot to celebrate with in the new year. The next card that I have right here will tell me the type of relationship you will have with your family in 2022. And we have the Page of Wands. It feels like you guys are starting like this new chapter in your lives where you can have fun, enjoy life. We have a bunch of bananas, so that's making me think of a lot of abundance and happiness. Seeing how this person is right here, it makes me think of someone that is very happy, very content, someone that is ready to take that leap forward, has faith that things are going to work out. So maybe you're starting a new chapter with your family that is creating this sense of being happy, being content, and being ready to move forward, ready to take on the world again. So I do feel that you have maybe created a new type of energy with your family, a new type of dynamic with them. Again, that word, this is the third time I think I've said it in your reading. That tells me that a lot of good things are happening with your family in the new year. The next card that I have right here will tell me the type of relationship you will have in the romance department for 2022. And we have Death reverse. I lied. It's the Devil reverse. I don't know why I said death. Okay. It makes sense then. So, the Devil is reversed because there's a sense of transformation going through. Death in tarot talks about transformations. And the fact that I said death, I don't think is a coincidence. It's not a mistake necessarily. Well, it is, but I do feel that there's a reason why I said it. That's what I'm getting at. So the Devil usually talks about someone that is under the illusion that something doesn't work out, and because of that, people tend to be limiting themselves or living a life full of lies or limitations because of that, right? It's Capricorn energy, so it's a tough love in a way. Let's put it that way. But with it in reverse, I do feel that it talks about you guys slowly coming out of that in your romantic relationships. I'm saying that because I initially said death. And as I mentioned, the Death card talks about transformation. So I do feel that that was a hint as to why the Devil card is reversed. When it's reversed, it could talk about the opposite meaning of what the card usually represents. Or it could talk about a sense of not reaching the level of that energy. But I do feel that my mistake was a sign of why, the reason as to why this card is actually reversed, which talks about transformation. So what I'm getting at is that maybe you were under the illusion, or you were lying to yourself somehow, or you just couldn't see clearly the red flags, or you weren't able to see clearly how your relationships were working so your romantic ones specifically. So maybe you were with people that were not treating you right, or maybe you were in such a need to be with a partner that you picked the wrong ones all the time. So I do feel that next year in 2022, you will slowly, take that blindfold of your eyes and you will see things clearly. You will be able to transform your relationships so they are a bit more favorable to you. But I do feel that there's more of the sense of you will continue just working on your own self. Maybe this is the reason as to why you had to make amends with 2021. So maybe relationships weren't working that well for you, and I do feel there's a sense of you will take a break from relationships, or maybe I'm just the one encouraging you to do that, so like that you're able to heal those wounds accordingly and give yourself enough time to analyze the situation and understand as to why those didn't work out, so like that you're able to progress and see things clearly into the future. Again, when things don't work out in the way that you want them, sometimes it is a good way to analyze it. Instead of thinking of it as a mistake or something wrong, start to see it as a way of how can you learn from it. That's kind of my encouragement on that one. And it seems like that's going to be a big theme since it was a major arcana. But the next 5 cards are going to be messages from your higher self or from your spiritual team to see, what's going to happen in 2022. These cards could give us confirmation of previous messages I've said in this pile, or they can just tell us new things as well. So the first card that we have is, well, family wishes come true. So with this Page of Wands, I'm getting that, a lot of good things are coming, are going to be very successful in your family. Seems like your relationships are going well. It seems like that's just fueling for a lot of many good things to come through. So maybe you have wished for something, maybe for your family dynamic to, again, the 4th time, to change into something better, and seems like your dreams have been heard. The other card that we have is okay, hear me out, I don't know how to say this, turquoise. Okay, the turtle. It's not the turtle. Anyway, slowly but surely getting ahead. So there is this sense of your transformation is going slowly. You are slowly healing the past in 2021, and you're still being encouraged to listen carefully, to continue learning and understanding and gathering that knowledge and wisdom in order to understand your path and healing that. So I do feel that there's still, the process of healing that you're going through is very slow. Slow in the sense that this is not necessarily about time as much as it is about you. So it will be a slow process for you. So under your terms, it's slow. Let's just put it that way. Here we have the Bear. Danger, especially in money matters. You have wands, swords, and wands. So a lot of action is being taken, but money, we don't have a single pentacles or coins here. So that tells me that maybe money could be an issue, or it could be something you're afraid of. Especially if you're getting obstacles in your career, maybe things are not working out the way that you want it. And because of that, you may feel like your finances are not as stable. The fact that they're not here tells me that there's that could be a signal of a lack thereof. You also don't have cups, but that could also just be that you're not emotionally, you're working through that, or maybe that's not an important message right now. But danger, especially in your money matters. You may worry a little bit about money, but with Bear, it feels like it's a fear. And so the other card that we have is Harp, great happiness. So despite maybe having some money issues, or maybe not having much action in your love life and your career, you're still going to be pretty happy. Things are working nicely. The relationship with yourself, with your friends, and your family is good. So maybe that's why things are working well. We have Broken Ring, parting of the ways in either romance or business. So with a broken ring, I do feel that there's maybe a lack of commitment. It does feel that it is specifically to your love life. Maybe that's the thing that you're healing through. Someone promised a little bit more that they could give. Maybe someone in your love life. I guess there could have been some cheating going on as well. So I do feel that you're just learning from that and healing from that. This could also apply to your career in the sense that maybe you were working towards something, and then maybe a contract that was, a broken promise in that sense, right? Like, if you're working with us and we promise that you will be able to travel here, and there, but then things don't go through. However, I feel that things don't go through in your career if it's travel related because of an external issue that's out of everyone's control. So I don't feel you'll take that too badly necessarily, as in like you're not gonna hold grudges against anyone in that sense. You will just go with the flow of the emotions and not be too happy about that. But if it's love related, I do feel that there's a lot of healing you will have to do to not necessarily, I guess, forgive the other person or something like that. It's just so you have peace of mind. So it's for your own good in that sense. Who cares about the other person? Anyway, I'll leave that there, pile 2. I hope I was able to enlighten you a little bit. I hope I was able to help you out somehow, maybe with knowledge, or just make this kind of fun or entertaining. Seems like you guys are going through a rough patch and you are just being able to see that clearly in 2022. So that just means that it's going to be difficult because you will be facing all of those things that you felt not work out in 2021 in the next year. So I do feel that you guys are just slowly healing through that, and healing is not easy. It takes time. It is very energetically consuming and emotionally taxing, so just keep in mind that that's why it's a slow process. It does take a while to understand how things work and also to see how things play out, so just keep in mind that that's pretty normal, and just, I gave you all the power in the love so that you can go through that successfully and be able to handle was the word that came up, so handle all of that, I guess. So with all of that said, let's hope that all of our dreams come true in this new year. I wish you all the best in 2022, and I do hope that you're able to continue being happy in this new year. And with all of that said, thank you so much for watching. Love and healing from my part to you, and see you on the next one, whenever that is. Bye! Hello, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading. I was gonna say your pile. Well, that's not wrong. Anyway, so let's see what 2022 has in store for you. So for those of you that picked the Amethyst Stone or just pile 2, let's start off the reading. So the first card is going to tell me what is the conclusion or just the closing of 2021 for you. And we have Buho, transform the way you see. And there's 2 moths on her. Well, okay, there's 2 moths on her finger. Her fingers covering her eyes, but then there's more moths right here. Moths. So that tells me that many of you guys one of the things that you did was just cleanse your energy and being able to see things from a different point of view, either gathering new perspectives, being more understanding, or just learning how to use your intuition as well. To me, moths talk about centering yourself, nurturing, in a way, and transformation. I did get to see a lot of them last year in the summer. They will somehow get in the house all the time. So maybe with you guys, it just talks about going through a change. Moths are very fluffy as well. Or at least they look fluffy. I've never really touched them. And they look kind of scary because it is true. Their wings kind of look like eyes. I'm not too sure why though. But anyway, putting all of that aside, it seems like that the biggest transformation or the conclusion you went through in 2021 was just to see things in a very different way. So I do feel that you may have expanded your mind, or you have slowly learned how to gather a new perspective, seeing the other side of the coin type of thing, or yeah, stuff like that. So I do feel that you're just slowly learning how to see with your heart. That was a random phrase, or just being able to be a little bit more intuitive and just feel as well. I guess in a way it's being able to see past the surface level sometimes, and being able to see the pure essence of whatever situation you were in or you were encountering. So that's quite interesting. Let's see what else there is in store for you. So the next card that I'm going to take out is going to tell me the main theme of 2022 for you, pile 3. We have absence. Okay. The first thing that I kind of thought was being able to see what's not there. So maybe you guys are opening your third eye potentially. There is a moon right here, so that's being intuitive. There's this sense of trees and abundance, so I do feel that good things are coming next year. There seems to be like this fire creature as well, so maybe a sense of healing, a burning healing way. So I don't know how to describe that necessarily, but like sweat, when you are burning inside and like sweating off the bad somehow. That's the imagery that I was getting, like a fever. There's this heart right here, so it makes me think that you are listening to your heart a bit more. With all of this green, it tells me that you're definitely doing what your heart tells you, or you're following, in Spanish we have this word called corazonadas, which means like following your gut feeling. That could be important for you next year. There's this orange, there's a lot of orange, so definitely be motivated and inspired again next year. There's this sense of like fruits coming out of this person. So it feels like you guys are also slowly, again, the thing about being abundant and maybe slowly gathering the fruits of your labor. I'm getting this 7 of coins energy, 7 of pentacles energy. So I do feel like, again, her eyes are closed, so I do feel like you guys are just able to be more perceptive in a different way. So we have our 5 senses, our sense of touch, taste, scent, see, and hear. I think, I don't know if I said it, if I repeated them, whatever, but you're able to just get in touch with your sixth sense. I'm getting like a bunch of K-pop songs in my mind, so maybe you guys are into K-pop too. Alright, I don't know. Anywho, the next card that I'm going to take out is going to tell me how your career will be like in 2022. And the card that you have is the 5 of Cups. So in your career, it seems like things are going to be a bit rough, pile 3. Not because they actually are, but because of how you see things. Again, this sense of perspective is important with you guys. So this 5 of Cups usually talks about someone that is being pessimistic, because if you see right here, she's looking at the 3 cups that are down instead of focusing on the 2 cups that are upright. So things will be made, and here we have the moon that is kind of behind the clouds. So the truth is being hidden from you, or you are not seeing things clearly. So I do feel that in your career, there's this sense of you guys focusing on the negative. I do feel, the negative is outweighing the positive, but I do feel that there's still good things going on around, and you will just focus on one side of the coin. I am guessing that you guys may have this mentality usually, or just in your career, things are going to be a bit rough next year, and you will, life is kind of like giving you a warning that this will be the case, so that you can focus on what's actually working for you and not be too overwhelmed that the odds are not in your favor per se. I do feel also that there's this sense of like, at face value, it may seem like your career is failing or it's not working out just because it's not going the way that you want it, but I do feel that that's just a divine detour, and by that I mean that things are not working out how you want them because it's going in the direction that you truly do want. It's kind of like we say, oh, I want this, I want that, but in reality what we're saying is something else. So let's say it's like, I want money, because we know money is able to provide for a lot of things, but in reality, when some people say I want money, what they mean is I want security, or I want safety, or I want reassurance, right? Which you can get in other forms, in other ways that is not money, if that makes sense. So I do feel that this is that feeling, right? Like, you will see in your career that things are not working out the way that you want them, but they still are, even if you don't see it. So I do feel that if you get in touch with your intuition, you will be able to understand that a bit better, and understand that sometimes if those things are not working out, is because something else is coming as well, or it's at face value, that thing that you wanted was not really what your heart desired, that type of thing. The next card that I'm going to take out is going to tell me what type of relationship you're going to have with yourself in 2022. So we have the 9 of Wands. Seems like you're going to have quite a little bit of a tough time with yourself in 2022. It's not necessarily bad. It just means that your guard is up. You're being very cautious. You may be afraid of things. You are protecting yourself. So it's weird because the relationship that you have with yourself is cautious in 2022. It feels like you're trying to make sure that you're not overstepping boundaries within yourself. So I do feel that maybe you're very harsh with yourself, and because of that, you're creating a very uncomfortable position for yourself. Again, this is a relationship that you have with yourself in 2022. It seems like there's this conflict. So maybe if you have very strict routines and a very strict structure, it makes it very difficult for you to have the wiggle room, and because of that you may feel like you're not succeeding as much, but that's just because you just have insanely restricting I guess in a way mentality, or just environment that you've created for yourself. With this 9 of Wands, you are reaching the end of something, so I think that you're just one step away from pushing yourself to your limit. There is this girl with a little doll, so I do feel that it's kind of like you're encasing yourself in a very difficult situation, and I see this skull's on fire, so I do feel that you may be afraid of something, and there seems to be like, it's like if there was this wall between her and this house. Now, if that house is good or not, I'm not too sure, but it could be about safety and security, so you may feel like you're holding yourself back somehow, pile 3, and I'm not too sure how, but it may be that you may have hurt yourself before and you don't want to do it again, so you're just putting obstacles yourself, and you're not allowing yourself to take action because of those obstacles you've put. So let's see. The next card that we have right here is going to tell me the type of relationship you will have with your friends in 2022. We have the 7 of Swords reverse. So the 7 of Swords usually talks about someone that is lying or being deceptive somehow. So I do feel that in 2022, truths are going to come forward, or they're gonna bubble up in your friendships. So I'm saying that because the card is reversed. So I do feel that things are going to come up, conversations are just gonna cause for the truth to rise up. There's this sense of you're just learning more about the truth of things, because Swords talks about communication, ideas, thoughts, and I do feel that there's a sense of justice coming through. I feel that in your friendships, you're just going to learn the truth of things, how they think, what they believe in. Maybe they don't align with what you believe in, I'm not too sure. Or maybe there's situations that you're working through that now you're able to see better. I guess your newfound intuition, or your opening of third eye, or your newfound knowledge is going to allow you to see your friends in a different light, and it's going to show you the lies that they have been saying, or this doesn't have to be lies that they have told you. This could also be how they're lying to themselves, or maybe the fear that they live in. So I do feel that you're just opening your eyes to the truth of things because you're seeing it from a different perspective. So now when people come up with excuses of like, oh, I really wanted to do this, but then this happened, and then that happened, and then you realize that those are not actual obstacles. You realize that the truth of the matter is that they're just afraid of taking that step, and they're using other things as excuse to not take that action. I feel that's kind of what you're seeing. You're finally understanding how things fully work within your friend group, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. You're just understanding it from a different point of view. The next card that I have right here is going to tell me the type of relationship you will have with your family in 2022. And we have the 10 of Wands. So the 10 of Wands clearly goes after the 9 of Wands. I wanted to point that out. But yeah, here we are talking about feeling burdened or going through a cycle of putting a lot of responsibilities on yourself. So I do feel that maybe you feel a big responsibility with your family, and you feel like you have to take care of them, make sure that they're okay, and all of that. So I do feel that you've been lifted off of those responsibilities somehow, or you're going to work towards that because you understand now that it's a big burden for you. It's a lot of weight on your shoulders. We have a tree right here, so that tells me of something good coming through, right? Like someone that worked very hard to make this happen to the point of destroying themselves, if that makes sense. Like that pressure was so overwhelming that it destroyed the vessel that was carrying it, that type of thing. Hold up, I need to look at this closer. I don't really know what these are, but it made me think of turkeys. So, maybe harsh conversations happen over in November, early December. I'm thinking of Thanksgiving. So maybe something happened there. Conversations could have rised up, or maybe they will eventually. Or you will slowly learn how to release those burdens, and grow and be abundant again. Taking action towards clearing those responsibilities and being able to be abundant. I'm saying that because this tree right here makes me think of someone that is growing and developing and understanding things. So I don't think this is showing like a growth of burdens and responsibilities. I'm seeing this as being getting rid of those responsibilities and that burden of doing a bunch of things at once. So I do feel that in your family, you may be slowly working your way out of those things that may be weighing you down. The next card that we have is the type of relationships you will have in the romantic department romance department in 2022, and we have the Ace of Cups. So with you guys, this is a very good card. It tells me that there's a new beginning in your love life. This tells me that there's a lot of good things coming through. This Ace of Cups usually talks about a new beginning. It talks about a blessing of divine help. It again, the Ace tells me, especially for romance, it's a very good sign. It usually shows that maybe someone could be coming through, or the path to make your love life happen is in very good hands. It means that you're emotionally going to be fulfilled with that. I do have to just give one warning in the sense of this card doesn't necessarily say you will find love. It just tells me that your love life is being launched through. And what I mean by that is that it's starting, right? Usually the card that comes after the Ace of Cups is the Two of Cups, which talks about union, talks about finding that counterpart, finding someone that you're deeply connected with in a, like, in a different level, that type of thing, right? So I'm saying that because I don't know how this will physically manifest, but intuitively it will definitely be there. So if you are opening up your third eye, as these two cards told me, then that tells me that you will definitely start feeling how something good's about to happen and start in your love life. You may even start already spiritually connecting to this person that may be coming through. So I do feel that the cup is being filled up. So the promise of a romantic partner is definitely being written in your path, pile 3. So that's very good. Now, the next 5 cards that I have right here are messages from your higher self or your spirit guides, and these cards may confirm of some of the messages that we got here already. It may clarify them or even give us more information, and if not, there's going to be words, some food for thought for you, pile 3. So the first card that we have is Dark Woman, dealings or relationships with a woman with dark complexion or hair. So this just tells me that there might be a woman out there that will, the dark hair or a dark complexion, that makes me think of someone that is very grounded or stable, because it makes me think of someone that is earthy, someone that has depth, someone that is understanding somehow. The orange that this woman is carrying also tells me that this is someone that knows how to work towards their dreams and their goals. So this makes me think of someone, a person that is very firm, is strict, and very headstrong with what they believe in. So this is definitely someone that is kind of tough love for sure. So this person could be teaching you how they see things and how they perceive things in a very different way. This person may have a resting bitch face, but I do feel that this person carries a lot of knowledge. So if you want to deal with this person or not, it is up to you, but this person will definitely pass through your life for sure. And the next card that we have is Goldfish, increase in material wealth or spiritual growth. With this cards, I definitely see the spiritual growth, but if money's on the way, feel free to take it, if that's what you want, of course. But if that's not what you want, that's cool. You are definitely getting the spiritual growth. I'm seeing, because these 2 cards are telling me that there's a sense of seeing a new point of view, a new perspective, and even a hint of opening your third eye. And with the amethyst stone that you picked, you're definitely cleansing your energy and being a bit more calm. So that will benefit you a lot, because it will allow you to understand things from, being able to see the bigger picture somehow. The next card that you have is Dagger, fear, worries, tense situations. So with the 10 of Wands, the 7 of Swords, the 9 of Wands, the 5 of Wands, it is very clear that next year is going to be a year for you to face your fears, your worries, and you will encounter those challenges and those tense situations, because you are working within yourself to get yourself out of the cage or that cautious energy that you're always in your career. You tend to be more pessimistic, but that moon tells me that you intuitively will understand the bigger picture of your situation. This 7 of Swords tells me that you will understand the lies that people have said in a different point of view. So the truth is going to come out. And the 10 of Wands talks about responsibilities and burdens you have been carrying for a long time within your family. that you're slowly healing through, or will be abundant from that. So I do feel that this fear, worries, and tensions is just saying that you will encounter a lot of healing and seeing things from a very different point of view that will naturally take a while to get used to. And that dagger is just an example of that. The next card that we have is Butterfly, a change for the better. So I mentioned that earlier with the Five of Cups and the Seven of Swords. You are also with the Ten of Wands. Even though all of these cards were, they feel bad, all of them had a hint of learning from that and growing from that. So that's actually very good. I tend to be a pretty optimistic person. So maybe it could be my bias as a reader, just seeing how this could be interpreted in a good way, or it could also just mean that you guys are just learning how to be more optimistic and try to see the best out of the worst in a way, trying to see the glass half full type of way. So I do feel that you guys are just working towards that, your new, your transformation and the way that you see, and the absence just tells me that you guys are just learning to see beyond what's there, learning to see what's not there, and being able to feel that. So the transformation, with this butterfly, you're slowly transforming and going out of your cocoon and understanding just how life works, and in a way not take things as personally anymore. So the change for the better just tells me that you guys are trying to be optimistic. You guys are learning how to be, to not be afraid and not be as cautious as you usually are. Truths are coming out from what, instead of focusing of, oh, these friends are lying to me, you're just going to focus on, okay, the truth came out, so now what do we do? And with this Ten of Wands, you're also learning how to turn your difficulties into a transformation of healing and growth. The last card that you have is a gong with an exciting event, and seeing how this is towards the end, it tells me that you may encounter someone that will be the catalyst or like the trigger of your transformation. This will trigger, a person could trigger your spiritual growth, and then you will have to face all of those fears because that's part of your transformation, and that will be a change for the better. And because of that, you are encountering an exciting event, which could be your romantic life, seen as that is the most positive card you've gotten in your whole reading. When we were talking about relationships and stuff, it could also just be that since you're being more confident with yourself, since you're learning how to face those fears, you're growing and developing this new side of yourself, transforming into this new version of yourself that will allow and facilitate this relationship. But it also seems that is something that you will just naturally want to celebrate. So yes, pile 3, that is your reading. I hope you liked it. It seems like there's a lot of good things coming through for you guys. It's weird that I'm saying that because yours started off pretty rough, but then as we continue going through your reading, I realized that if you focus on the good, you will. That's kind of one of the best ways you can survive 2022. I just think that the moment you open your third eye or you open up spiritually, you will inevitably see things differently. You will understand what's in your control, what's out of your control. This is something that I thought about yesterday before going to sleep. I realized that when you start your spiritual awakening, for those of you that were not fully aware of it, it's always happening, but not everyone's aware of it. So when you become aware of it, you realize the greater power out there in the world, and you notice that not everything is under your control, but you also learn how powerful and how much power you have as an individual. Your choices, the choice to stay in situations that maybe are not favorable for you, or because you start facing your fears, and you start understanding sometimes that you have the power to walk away from situations you're not happy with, or you have the power to shift your mentality for something more positive. And it takes energy, it takes knowledge, it takes understanding, and it seems like that's what you're gathering here. And because of that, despite having a lot of cards that talk about difficult things, challenges, or even I guess things that were not so good, you are able to slowly learn how to turn them into your favor and learn from that, and not and not have that get in the way of your situation, and just continue moving forward. So I applaud that for you, pile 3. Seems like that's just what you're working towards. So I send you a lot of good vibes and a lot of good luck so that you can continue moving forward. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned from this, or enjoyed your reading. I hope all of our dreams come true in 2022, and I'll see you on the next one. Love and healing from my part to you, and see you in the next one, whatever that is, and bye.